Taylor. Michael Rotunda is an American professional wrestler. He is signed to WWE, where he is working at the main roster as Bo Dallas. While at WWE's development territory NXT, Dallas was the longest reigning NXT champion in the championship's history at 280 days. He had previously held the FCW Florida Heavyweight Championship 3 times and is a former 2-time FCW Florida Tag Team Champion with his older brother Windham Rotunda. Professional wrestling career, World Wrestling Entertainment WWE, Florida Championship Wrestling. In 2008, Rotunda signed a developmental contract with WWE and was assigned to Florida Championship Wrestling, where he debuted in December by defeating Caleb O'Neal. On December 16, 2008, Rotunda, wrestling under his real name, teamed with Chris Logan to defeat Ryback and John Cutler in a tag team match. Throughout early 2009, Rotunda continued wrestling in tag team matches, and changed his name to Tank Rotunda in February. In June, he began wrestling as Bo Rotunda and later Bo Rotundu, and the following month he began teaming with his brother, Duke Rotundu. At the FCW television tapings on June 23, the Rotundu brothers defeated the Dude Busters to become the #1 contenders to the FCW Florida Tag Team Championship. That same night, they defeated Justin Angel and Chris Logan for the FCW Florida Tag Team Championship. They went on to successfully defend the championship against Dylan Klein and Vance Archer and the team of Kurt Hawkins and Heath Slater. At the FCW television tapings on November 19, the Rotundus lost the championship to the Dude Busters. In early 2010, the Rotundus began feuding with the Usos, and their manager, Sarona Snuka. They lost to the Usos on January 14, but defeated the Usos and Donnie Marlowe in a 6-man tag team match, with Wes Briscoe as their partner. In a straight rematch on March 11, the Rotundus defeated the Usos. In April, they moved into a feud with Jackson Andrews and Kurt Hawkins, which began when Rotundu faced Andrews in a singles match and won by disqualification when Hawkins interfered. At the television tapings the following week, the Rotundus teamed up with Eli Cottonwood in a loss to Hawkins, Andrews, and Leo Kruger. Rotundu was then absent from FCW due to injury, making his return in June. He moved into singles competition, defeating wrestlers including Derek Bateman, Hawkins, Tyler Rex, and Brodus Clay. In August, FCW Florida Heavyweight Champion Mason Ryan issued an open challenge, which Rotundu accepted. He lost the subsequent championship match by submission. On February 3, 2011, Rotundu defeated Ryan to win the FCW Florida Heavyweight Championship for the first time, but lost the championship to Lucky Cannon immediately afterward. He regained the championship from Cannon 3 months later, on May 19. Rotundu made his WWE debut on July 25, defeating Primo in a dark match before the WWE Raw broadcast began. On August 16, Rotundu defeated Joey Ryan in another dark match at the SmackDown tapings, and the following week on August 23, Rotundu lost to Wade Barrett in a dark match prior to SmackDown. On September 1, Rotundu vacated the FCW Florida Heavyweight Championship due to injury. Later that month, it was reported that Rotundu had suffered a lacerated kidney, and was expected to be absent for several months to recuperate. Rotundu returned at the tapings of the January 29, 2012, episode of FCW Television, cutting a promo declaring his intentions to reclaim the FCW Florida Heavyweight Championship. On February 2, Rotundu and his brother, renamed Husky Harris, defeated Brad Maddox and Eli Cottonwood, a substitute for the injured Lee Pierce, to win the FCW Florida Tag Team Championship for the second time. The brothers held the championship until March 15, when they lost it to Corey Graves and Jake Carter. In May 2012, Rotundu made several appearances at WWE house shows, defeating Drew McIntyre. At a FCW Live event on June 16, 2012, Dallas defeated Rick Victor to win the FCW Florida Heavyweight Championship for a third time, right after Victor had just defeated Seth Rollins for the title. He lost the title back to Victor at another FCW Live event on July 13, 2012. NXT, when WWE rebranded its developmental territory, FCW, into NXT Wrestling, Dallas' NXT television debut took place on the first episode of the rebooted WWE NXT taped at Full Sail University, as he played a happy-go-lucky and resilient babyface, while defeating Rick Victor. On the August 8 NXT, Dallas was inserted into the Gold Rush tournament to crown the first NXT champion, where he was eliminated by Jinder Mahal in the quarter-finals. On the November 7 NXT, Dallas competed in a number 1 contender fatal 4-way elimination match against Mahal, Drew McIntyre and Justin Gabriel. Despite eliminating McIntyre and Gabriel, Dallas succumbed to Mahal. The next week, Dallas goaded Mahal into facing him in a match with the title shot on the line, but Mahal prevailed once again. On January 26, 2013 at WWE's first ever Royal Rumble FanFest, Dallas participated in an 8-man NXT tournament and defeated Luke Harper, Conor O'Brien and lastly Leo Kruger to win the tournament, thus becoming the first NXT wrestler to qualify for the 2013 Royal Rumble match. The next day, Dallas entered the Rumble match at number 16, where he lasted over 20 minutes and eliminated the Intercontinental Champion Wade Barrett, who returned to the ring and eliminated Dallas. This started a feud between the duo, with Barrett challenging Dallas to a non-title match the following night on Raw, in which Dallas pulled off an upset victory in his first singles match on Raw. Dallas later challenged Barrett on the April 24 NXT for the Intercontinental Championship, but was defeated. Simultaneously with his feud with Barrett, Dallas entered the NXT Tag Team Championship tournament alongside Michael McGillicutty, who had earlier saved Dallas from a beating at the hands of Primo and Epico. The pairing defeated Primo and Epico in the first round of the tournament. In the tournament semi-finals, Dallas and McGillicutty lost to the Wyatt family due to Bray Wyatt's interference. An attack by the Shield then prevented Dallas from participating in an NXT Championship No. 1 contender match against Conor O'Brien and Corey Graves. The triple threat match did occur the next week and Wyatt prevented Dallas from winning the match due to Dallas' earlier refusal to join the Wyatt family, resulting in a match being set up between Dallas and Wyatt, which Dallas won. From late April 2013, the NXT audience turned against Dallas and started booing him. NXT Tag Team Champion Adrian Neville chose Dallas to replace his injured partner, Oliver Gray. On the May 8 NXT, Neville and Dallas failed in their first defense of the tag titles when they lost them to the Wyatt family. Soon after, Dallas' character began showing subtle heel traits of being disingenuous. On the May 29 NXT, Dallas competed in an 18-man battle royal to determine the number 1 contender to the NXT Championship. He eliminated his former tag partner Neville to win the Battle Royal. On the June 12 NXT, Dallas defeated champion Big E Langston after twice ramming Langston into an exposed turnbuckle to become the new NXT champion. As Leo Kruger set his sights on Dallas' title, Dallas made his first successful title defense on the July 3 NXT by exploiting Kruger's interference to defeat Antonio Cesaro. On the August 7 NXT, Dallas defeated Kruger to retain his title. By then, the NXT audience's hate of Dallas translated to them literally turning their backs on him while cheering his opponents, even heels like Cesaro and Kruger or unknowns like Mickey Keegan. Dallas then held an open challenge to determine the next title contender but banned Sami Zayn from competing, so Zayn masqueraded as the Masked El Local and defeated Dallas to earn his title shot. The match occurred on the October 16 NXT. General Manager John Bradshaw Layfield restarted the match when Zayn won despite Dallas' foot on the ropes, but not when Dallas sent Zayn into an exposed turnbuckle to retain his title. Dallas then faced his next title contender and former tag team partner Adrian Neville and lost by countout to retain his title. However, Dallas would lose the title to Neville at NXT Arrival in a ladder match. He lost his rematch on the March 27 NXT. On the April 10 episode of NXT, Dallas attempted to mimic Daniel Bryan by trying to occupy NXT, but the crowd turned their backs on him as a response. He was then forced into a match against Justin Gabriel, which he won. 2 weeks later he lost to Tyson Kidd, and after the match Bo threw a tantrum, mimicking what happened after the Occupy NXT incident weeks prior. On the May 8 edition of NXT, he participated in a number 1 contenders battle royal, and made it to the final 4 before being eliminated by Tyson Kidd. On the May 15 NXT, it was announced that he was put in a match for the May 22 show against Big E with the stipulation that if he won, he would earn another NXT title shot, and if he lost, he would be forced to leave NXT forever. Dallas subsequently lost the match and was forced to leave. During the tapings break, he turned heel towards NXT by saying that he hates everyone and that they should leave. Sooner in the NXT tapings for June, Bo secretly trespassed briefly under a new gimmick, Mr. NXT. However, he lost to Sami Zayn, who exposed Dallas and had security take him away. The following week after, he found his way into the building and ran around for help from security. Bo leave. Since the April 7 episode of Raw, WWE started airing motivational-style introductory vignettes for Dallas. Dallas' return was in a winning effort, as he defeated Sin Cara on the May 23 episode of SmackDown as well as the May 26 episode of Raw. Dallas made his first pay-per-view appearance at Payback, where he was scheduled to face Kofi Kingston. However, the match never happened due to interference from Kane. Dallas would face Kingston the following night on Raw in a winning effort. Following his dark copyright but on the main roster, Dallas would go on an undefeated streak, picking up wins over the likes of R-Truth, Fandango, and Titus O'Neil. Dallas established himself as a heel when he attacked El Torito after his match against Diego on the July 4 episode of SmackDown. On WWE.com, it was announced that Dallas would be part of the upcoming Intercontinental Championship Battle Royal match at Battleground. Personal life: Rotunda is a third-generation professional wrestler. His grandfather Blackjack Mulligan, father Mike Rotunda and uncles Barry and Kendall Windham were all professional wrestlers. He has an older brother, Windham Rotunda, who is also a professional wrestler under the ring name Bray Wyatt, and a younger sister, Mika. Rotunda is married to former 8-time World Arm Wrestling Champion Sarah Barr, current CCKMAN. Rotunda attended Hernando High School, and graduated in 2008. During his final 2 years of high school, he qualified for the state wrestling championships. He also played football as a linebacker. Originally, he was offered a football scholarship at Weber International University in Babson Park, Florida, but when the offer fell through, he decided to become a wrestler instead. On February 19, 2012, Rotunda was arrested for driving under the influence in Tampa, Florida, with blood alcohol levels of 0.166 and 0.178 according to 2 breathalyzer tests, more than twice the legal limit. He was released later that day on a $500 bond. In wrestling, finishing moves: belly-to-belly suplex Euro 2013. Used as a signature move from 2014 Euro present, Bodog Euro 2014 Euro present, double underhook DDT Euro 2013 Euro 2014, spear Euro 2012 Euro 2013. Signature moves: cravate, dropkick, inverted DDT, multiple running knee drops, with theatrics, multiple short arm back elbows followed by a short arm clothesline, running big boot to a bent-over opponent, running crossbody, running forearm smash. Entrance themes: Texas Special by Thomas Blug and Mark Scholes, Anything by Jim Johnston, Shoot for the Stars by CFO Dollar. Nicknames: The Inspirational Bo Dallas. Championships and accomplishments: Florida Championship Wrestling, FCW Florida Heavyweight Championship, FCW Florida Tag Team Championship, a Euro with Duke Rotunda Husky Harris. Pro Wrestling Illustrated, PWI ranked him number 79 of the top 500 singles wrestlers in the PWI 500 in 2013. WWE NXT, NXT Championship. References. External links. Bo Dallas's profile on WWE.com, Taylor Rotunda at the Internet Movie Database.